Hello and welcome to the Esports Rundown for the week of January 19th. This is a little bit late. I wanted to be doing these on Friday, but I had internet issues and it was just a mess. So we actually have a lot of things going on in esports right now, which is great. It's arguably too much. I've been struggling to be able to watch it all, but I've been doing my best. So we're going to start with fighting games. The big thing that happened was the Capcom World Warrior Japan. Japan is just the deepest region in Street Fighter, and so this was a slugfest. It was just 8 of some of the best players in the world fighting for one spot. It was some fantastic Street Fighter. Had a bunch of 3-2s, but Fudo, props to him, he played phenomenally, and it was really Momochi just kind of the one who actually gave him trouble. Momochi did win and cause a bracket reset, but Fudo clutched it in the end. But genuinely, if you want to watch some good Street Fighter, just turn on this top 8 and enjoy. It was phenomenal. There were some side games events that happened. I don't know much about both Versus Rising and Japanese Drive. I know like a good amount about, I guess, like the Strive players I know in terms of like Evo placing and like the really big tournaments, but like the lower scenes of that I don't know as well. So these were for their equivalent Capcom Cup tournament. It's this I forget what it's called. I feel bad. But this seems like it was a good tournament. This is a good top 8. Bracket reset into another 3-2 is kind of crazy from Tatuma. Yeah, so that Strive tournament seemed good. Actually, I want to see who they're playing. A lot of Soul, Happy Chaos, Potemkin getting some playing time, which was interesting. I do know Daru, I know, who does play, I know. Really, some biking was good. But that doesn't surprise me. Yeah. I'm just happy to see Ramethal in there. Personally, I don't know if she's that gutted or if it's just the circumstances of that tournament. That was AWT. There we go. AWT I really just don't know enough about, and I will be trying to watch a little bit more. So yeah. For people interested, this worked out. Another bracket reset into the loser winning. Interesting. And that should be it for fighting games for the stuff that happened. This upcoming week, we will be having Frosty Faustings. A very good tournament. Before we get into that, Sage Jam Slam. Sage Jam Slam is a great tournament of just fighting game amateurs that are content creators, and it's taking like pros to train them. It's a super cool event. Seemingly everyone comes out of it saying they loved it. Please support it. It's great. I've seen where people get into fighting games. Like I've seen, I think SK is the best example. Is she started it and she got to like masters in Street Fighter already, and like is just like partially addicted to fighting games. It's great. So Sage Jam Slam, watch it, entertaining. But Fausting is the kind of like the bigger tournament. We got a lot, as you can see. I won't be going through every single one, because that's just exhausting, and we don't really even know who's playing yet. But I want to see if there's so this Street Fighter does have a good amount of top players playing. Obviously Punk is the biggest player in NA, but no, the Prodigy's goated. Riddles is sneaky good. we got Jack with the Rebellion, Enzo the Hokage is another like kind of sneaky name. Idom obviously. So it's gonna be a good tournament. I want to say, does Tekken have? Tekken, this one's not gonna be the best Tekken, I would say, but you still have Shadow 20Z going, Junior 20Z, Joe Crush. Doesn't look like Joey Fury's going. That's the other like NA, but this is gonna be like more an NA tournament for a lot of things. Is this a big Strife tournament? This is a big Strife tournament, seemingly. Wow, that's a lot of players that are good. Okay. So like, see, this is more where I start knowing people in Strife. Wait, Idom's playing in Strife? Interesting. Didn't know that. But like, Razzo, Nitro, Xando, all really good players that you would expect to win. Leffen, I'm a huge Leffen fan. I want to make this very clear. But it really sounds like he hates this game. And I think he does have enough points already to get into AWT. But yeah, it really does feel like he just hates this game and is waiting for 2xKO. Which like, I'm not sure, I don't really blame him. But it'll be interesting to see how he performs, because I'm not sure how much he's actually been playing it. Got Shine. I feel like Shine's... he is a Guilty Gear player. Okay. For some reason I thought he played something else. But yeah, so this is going to be a really stacked Guilty Gear tournament. So if you are a fan of Guilty Gear, definitely watch it. Or if you're a fan of fighting games at all, it's, like there's things for everyone. I just want to see UMC 3. Idom's playing UMC 3. Yay. I'm just a UMC 3 fan. This also might be a good chance to see who will be playing MVC2 at EVO. So yeah, there's, again, everything. So I'm not going to go through all of them. That's just would be exhausting. But Frosted Fausting's 6 or 17. Jeez. Gonna be a great tournament, and just constant Street Fighter and Tekken and Guilty Gear and King KOF. I don't like MK1, but fine, we can have that. So, lots of fighting games this weekend. And also, speaking on Frosty Faustings, we're gonna go to Smash Brothers. And they don't have a tournament there anymore. Never mind. I feel like they used to. I could just be I could be wrong. I really thought they were part of Frosty Fausting at some point. Oh well. Then we have this stuff. I don't. Big Japanese tournament. Oh, it already happened. Never mind. Oh, it happened this morning. Okay. So Mia, I really don't know Japanese Smash, so if you're interested, there it is. Then we got Genesis is like gonna be the big one. Reaper Invitational. Oh, Light is Rebellion now? Oh yeah, because he was moist. I forgot. We'll talk about that later. I didn't forget. This will be a good one. Tweak, Uto, Mr. E, Cosmos, Zumba. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I got nothing else really for Smash. We're just gonna go up. These also, I think this, the higher we get, the more I have to talk about. So WCS is going to be starting this week. There are the qualifiers going on right now for EMEA and NA. I would say for the EMEA teams, I won't say the EMEA teams that matter that, because that's a crazy statement. But for like the ones you'd really expect to get in with like these power players of like the Kai Kefster, that team with Soon, FD God, Checkmate, Landon, like Naga, they're already through. They like, actually wait, no, one team's not through. Incendia is not through. They have a longer battle. Sakura did get through in front of them. I don't know any of these names. I don't know EU Overwatch as well. This is just qualifiers. So, oh, there's only one from the lower bracket. That's brutal. But I like the system. But yeah, so these three already qualified, so they'll be in the EMEA stage 1. we will be having the NA qualifiers as well today, finishing up. We have Timeless, Avidity, Rad, and TMR already qualified. Seemingly similar situation where the top 3 teams all qualified except for one, or top 4 teams all qualified except for one, and then was it Avidity? Avidity. I don't think I recognize any of those names, but this is how it panned out. Oh, Shinigami did not. Did they bomb out entirely already? No, okay, they're playing 03. Okay. I was about to say, yeah, Supernova beat them. Oh no, Avidity beat them in the first round. Never mind. So yeah, congrats to these teams. I'm happy to see Timeless back in Overwatch. It's very nice to see. But yeah, now we're just getting ready for the Asia side to kick off. There's a little bit more break for the NA teams and EU teams after the qualifiers, but Asia Pacific has already gotten their stuff situated. These teams tend not to do too much in terms of the world stage, but it's always fun to watch. Got the Mika fan club, which is just, I love their name so much, it's hilarious. But yeah, so this will be starting on the 23rd. And this is all to qualify for the regional playoffs, for the... Wait, did they get a first round bye in... Oh, okay, no, sorry. It's confusing me because there's like 2 regional playoffs. Whatever. Asia has its own playoff. Yeah, so that will be starting soon. This is the big one for Overwatch, and it's still criminal that there's pretty much only 2 teams from Asia that join. But this is the first time I'll mention we have the partner system in Overwatch now. I believe it is Crazy Raccoon, T1, Team Falcons, Zeta Division, Genji, Vert Pro, Twisted Minds, Team Liquid, and SSG. So those are all the considered partner teams. I assume there will be some sort of cosmetics coming to Overwatch to support them. Obviously, APAC got 4 of the teams, and they all are Korean teams. NA got 2 with Team Liquid and SSG, and the rest are EMEA, so Genji, Twisted Minds, and Vert Pro. But it's just going to be a slugfest with Overwatch Korea. Crazy Raccoon kept their entire team, who was nasty last year. I believe Team Falcons also kept their entire team. So it'll be up to T1 bringing these guys back. Zest, I think a lot of ex-T1 players coming back. So they'll be fun to watch. And then Zeta Division, I don't know if they made any changes, but they also have a similar roster as last year. So it'll be up to these 2 to try and challenge Team Falcons and Crazy Raccoon, because those were just by far the best teams. So we will have this pretty much round robin into playoffs, into the Asia playoffs, who then get to go to the kickoff clash, or Champions Clash. There we go. So they do have 3 internationals this year. I think there was only 2 last year, so I'm very happy that they kind of expanded that, and it's going to be in Hangzhou, which I didn't even know that. No dates other than it's like around April. So and then China is back. I don't think, yeah, they don't have anything for China yet, but very happy to see China back. Overwatch was not allowed there because the NetEase deal expired and there's a whole mess. I think it's back, but it's very happy to see China, and so it's 2-2-2 for the spots. Personally, I think there should be more spots allowed, but whatever. I think that's going to be it for Overwatch. I'll talk about NA and EMEA later. Same with Japan. And so with Overwatch done, I'm going to go quick. We're going to talk about Rainbow Six. 2 things happened since the last time we talked. G2 won the last chance qualifier for Europe and it's very, very funny because if you look at how they've done it, it's just classic G2 and R6, because even in the close qualifier, they didn't do well. They lost to Mako immediately, went down to lower bracket, beat Fnatic, which is funny, and then lost to Mako again. At that point, it really didn't matter. So yeah, they looked very solid, didn't drop a single map. So it's kind of classic G2, I would say. And then in NA, Oxygen won. Which it's unfortunate for Wildcard because they did beat him in the upper bracket, but you gotta just close out those final maps. And Wildcard really didn't. So yeah, those two teams were added to the 6 Invitational, which the groups were announced, which G2, MAD, Liquid, I think this was, I think their sponsor got dropped, I forget. But yeah, so these are all the teams in the groups. I'll go through it later once we get to a little bit closer, because that is end of February, so I don't want to talk too much about it. So yeah. And then Apex, nothing's changed. Apex, I think they were already done, so there's no qualifiers. Yeah, so that every single, oh, they have the group draw. So yeah, Envy signed a team, and Envy is back in esports, so I'm super happy about that. They are a very classic team that, to me, it hurt when Optic they've merged with Optic, and then they just like killed the branding. So yeah, Complexity having their old logo is kind of hype. So yeah, that's, again, we'll talk about that similar week when we talk about the 6 Invitational, because, and I might even make those separate videos, I don't know. So we are gonna go down, just moving back. Actually, we're gonna take a detour and go to the one I forgot last time, because we're gonna talk about COD. Because there is COD happening today for Major 1 qualifier, but we're going to talk about also the minor, which caused a big surprise because FaZe won. And like, it's one of those things where you look at it and be like, oh, well, FaZe won a COD tournament, like, big surprise. They were not favored to win at all. They didn't really look good going into this. They were expected to beat the Heretics, but going against the LA Thieves were projected to be one of the best teams, and they still probably are. But Bracket Atlanta FaZe took them down, caused Nadeshot to kind of have a little bit of a crash out over the team, and then yeah. But this kind of gives like some sort of like insight into the clutch factor of the teams, because I was very surprised to see Royal Ravens do so well. They took down Optic Texas, who also wasn't doing well to start, but they did kind of bring it back, beat at the breach. So yeah, but Atlanta FaZe won 3-1. And so we will be having qualifiers for the Stage 1 Major, which is where the seeding was from. I guess they were playing yesterday, because this has changed since the last time I saw it. So yeah, they're already playing again today. I don't know where the major is. Major 1? Major 1's in Madrid. That's hype. What the hell? That's so cool. Too bad there's no European teams anymore. But yeah, so every team does get qualified. It's just kind of positioning and seeding, and as you saw from the last bracket, it is very beneficial to be qualified higher. So this is kind of how the landscape is looking right now. Gorilla's mates, I think, got their first win recently, because I believe they were 0-4. Did they play? They did play C9. Okay, so they beat C9. I thought they were going to play Falcons. That is going to be next week. And so, as you can see, we're almost done. Like, there's only a few more matches. The qualifier should be done by next weekend. So, oh, this is such a better view of it. So, yeah, we had 3 matches today. Gorillas versus Ultra, which I believe Ultra should just annihilate the Gorillas. No offense. We got a mega banger between the Thieves and Optic Texas, and then the Rocker versus Atlanta FaZe. Next week's matches, the ones that stand out to me would be Breach versus FaZe, because I feel like they're in a similar spot. Falcons versus Gorillas, I think just because it's kind of like a bottom tier matchup. And then Ultra versus Optic Texas, and then Boston versus LA Thieves. So those would be my matches to watch with with very little understanding of Call of Duty. So we're gonna move back up because I didn't want to forget COD, and I was about to do it again. And let's go to Counter-Strike because I think Counter-Strike had the least going on. We have this Blast Bounty Spring Qualifier going on right now. We have the first rounds go through, and they are playing right now. So we had not many upsets, I would say. I think technically Big versus Saul was an upset, but I don't think people were surprised that it happened. Yeah, Complexity losing to Vert Pro is a little bit surprising, but not as much. Black West did beat MIBR to then have to go against Dunk in Team Spirit, which is very unfortunate for them. But yeah, so this is qualifying for something, which I will for the LAN finals. Okay. Which I'll open another tab. So yeah, it's just 8 teams. And so I think Nine Pandas. That looks familiar. But yeah, so Bet Boom is losing to Furia right now, which there's a funny story with them later. And this will be all done today, I believe. G2 Big is the last game. Yes, G2 Big is the last game. So this will be a fascinating top 8 to watch, let's say, because I'm not sure these 2 matches are the best. I think, even though I'm a big fan, I think G2 probably will slam them. So yeah, go watch Counter-Strike. It'll probably be over by the time I upload this. So bad timing on my part, but I don't know where I want to go with this. Let's go Valorant, because the Counter-Strike and Valorant together is fun. Lots of stuff has happened. Every single region has started now. We're gonna start with China again. Where there was not many upsets in going into pretty much all of it. Everything that we expected to happen kind of happened. So we'll see if anything changes in the lower brackets and stuff like that. But we'll finally get to see like the banger matches between BLG, FBX, Trace, and then EDG. Those are kind of like the big ones. So we'll see if there's any upsets in the lower bracket, but it's been kind of panning out as we've thought. XLG and Titan did take games off, so props to them. They actually might be able to fight back a little bit more in the lower bracket. As I said that, one Titan's already out, and then XLG is still in. So I should have paid a little bit more attention. I'm gonna stay in Asia and go to Pacific, where we had the first round happen, and I was very sad and very disappointed in Detonation Focus Me. They had a really good first map, and then on their map pick they looked bad, and then I think they just were boomed. I don't know. So Japanese Valorant not doing the greatest because Zeta also lost to Nongshim, but that was a little bit more expected. Global took down Secret, and then T1 surprisingly didn't look the most dominant against Boom Esports. But I think I'd give a little more credit to Boom than the other way around. But yeah, so these matches I don't think are happening. They're saying the 20th. Yeah, so there's actually matches happening tomorrow for this. Okay. Oh yeah, because they're weird. They do Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, so there'll be matches tomorrow. This one is, I mean, honestly, these are just 2 bangers. Paper X T1, Dear X Songship, just absolute mega bangers in Valorant. EMAA, there was actually some controversy because I believe it was the Carmine Corp player was very unhappy that they had to play, and Foot, Team Liquid, and Heretics mates didn't. But I think the big upset was Giant X losing to BBL, and then also BBL beating Fnatic. So, is that people underrating BBL, or are they having like a run? Because these days, this is just like a tournament structure, it isn't regular season, so it's kind of hard to tell. And it was the same weekend, so you know they might just come out next weekend and be very, very flat. Or well, 10 days from now, I guess. Yeah, really good matches for Carmine Corp against Navi, entertaining. The same with Team Vitality versus KC. Like, EMEA Valorant has been very fun to watch overall. It's been some good games, but again, it's so early. It's just like we'll see. And then we will go to the Americas, where I think my favorite thing that I've ever seen happen. This isn't Furia, by the way. Stellar, Penny, Jake, B-Dog, and Adder. There were apparently visa issues for Furia, and they had to sign a team of subs to even play, and they beat 2Game. Which, how much does that say about 2Game? I think 2Game were put into a very unfortunate spot because I forget the guy's name. Their star player is not able to compete because he's underage. He will be getting in, I think, before they said Major 2. I don't know for sure, so it feels like they were kneecapped a lot before that. And then Loud surprising a lot of people, I think, by beating EG. It was a close game. I think Ye looked good. I believe from that. Actually, let me go. I might use VLR because I want to next time to look at rounds and stuff. But Ye apparently looked pretty good. Wasn't able to watch this one. 100 Thieves stunned MIBR, but then lost the Sentinels, which again not really surprising. Cloud9 took down NRG, which a lot of people were favoring NRG in that one. So we'll see. Oh, you would imagine NRG is able to at least get to here in the lower bracket, but again, you never know. So we'll hopefully. Actually, I think Furious team is back. I could be wrong. So we'll see if the real Furious is able to play against Leviathan, or will Leviathan kind of get like a free win. So these games are happening later today. So unlike the other regions, we will actually get to see the full like second round be played before break, which is very, very nice in my opinion. So that's Valorant. They're all just doing their kickoff stuff. I don't want to read into too many of the matches because you see this a lot in Valorant where it's one game. Like, there's so little data on these teams that I don't like judging them until the regular season, because like going to China, I think it was 2023. This team, not this team specifically, but Dragon Rangers made a major. They went on a run. They were like, oh my god, everyone thought they were going to be like kind of like a G2 of Ascension. Like they're actually one of the better teams, but it just didn't pan out that way. So I don't want to read into any of these kickoff stuff into too detail. Sticking with the Riot, I go to League of Legends. Again, everything has started in League except for the LTA. So the LPL has been running for a bit, and we had the mega banger today, actually, of IG versus NIP, and NIP looked good. Lots of insane picks coming out. There was Karma top, which didn't look good. There was Lee Sin mid, who won the game. It was very fun to watch. I recommend you going and watching it if you didn't, if you're a fan of League. But yeah, nothing too surprising. It's been fun to see the fearless drafts pan out, because you're going to see a lot more, especially in these best of fives, where it's like just the deeper you get the least in mids type picks already. So it's been very fun to watch. I think Ninja Pajamas came up with a very, very big win against IG, because that is a statement game, to say the least, and it most likely will get them upper bracket. So that is very huge for them, that they're able to keep that upper bracket, and unless they drop a game to one of these two, which I really, really don't think they will. So yeah, AL doing well, Weibo. JDG has not played a game. So in this group, you're looking at JDG versus Weibo, in my opinion. Billy looking good, not surprising. So very standard stuff in the LPL at the moment. Go over to South Korea, as we've had lots of matches go on so far. Oh, I thought they had a better view of this. Oh, yeah, here, sweet. Group Elder seems to just be the better group right now. It's gotten a little bit more even since I watched this, but Gen G beating Hanwha 2-0 is very massive, and then also D+ beating T1. T1 kind of threw that game. That was not great. But looking at the results, again, nothing too surprising. Like KT Rolster losing 0-2 to HLE makes sense. Same with T1 beating DRX 2-0 makes sense. This one I thought would have been a little closer. I didn't watch the games, so I kind of want to go back, because I do think DNF is a better team than we think. And no real surprises. But with this like Group Baron, Group Elder stuff, it changed. Like I forget. Yeah, top 3 teams make it. Bottom 2 teams from winners, and then have a play-in stage. It's insane. I love it. It's very confusing now. But yeah, so like just looking at the differences, like Group Elder is doing really, really well. Bro losing to DRX with a stand-in was massive. Bro really should have won that game. They kind of threw. Like the first few matches were a lot of the similar weight matches, in my opinion. So we'll see. They're on a few-day break, I think, because of. Actually, I don't know. I don't think it's because of Pacific. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see more League. It's been fun to watch already. There's been some crazy picks. Elise support's gotten picked twice. I think partly because Fearless, partly because I think they just think it's good. So yeah, LCK's been fun. LVP just started. They had their first matches. This is how it panned out. This SoftBank versus GAM, I think it was. Is it GAM? Yeah, versus GAM was a fun game to watch. It looked like GAM had a lot of knowledge on lane swaps, and SoftBank didn't, because like the map I watched, it was just lane swap to win, and there's been a lot of lane swaps still. It's not going away seemingly. And then we'll touch on the LEC, because they started yesterday, but it's only one. Best of ones happened, so it's nothing crazy yet. Koi, Draft Kingdom, Fnatic, so you can, like, I don't really want to read into it. G2 lost to KC, and it looked a little bit of Lebrov did not. Lebrov had a bad game. I'm just gonna say it. Caps looked good as always, but then he was on Akali, and that seemed like it just fell off. Kana on Karmine Corp played very, very well in my opinion. So yeah, I think Karmine Corp's gonna be a lot better than we thought they were. Rogue won their match. That was like kind of a weird one against Heretics, but they got the job done. But those would be two of the bottom teams, you would imagine. Vitality beating BDS is I think a scary sign for BDS, because a lot of people weren't sold on this roster, me included. So losing to a Vitality team that people were not sure of, you gotta be slightly worried. Like, you'll make playoffs for sure because of their system, but I think in terms of a team that went to Worlds a lot and internationals, you got to be a little bit more worried to see these teams kind of beating you already. And then to finish it off, SK lost to Giant X, which I think there's no surprise there. So, to talk a little bit about the big news, that's LTA North technically. Shopify Rebellion. They have merged with Moist Esports. So Moist Esports is no longer. I think it was a long time coming, because Moist is a creator org that was burning a lot of money, and Shopify has, I almost say unlimited, but like Shopify is a huge company and the owner just loves esports. So kind of combining those forces makes a lot of sense. They were selling jerseys for $20. I don't know if they still are. I bought one, I'm gonna be honest. I'm super excited to see the Rebellion and what they do with that merger. And I hope they do something where like they don't just erase Moist, and I don't think they are, but I think it's a little bit too late in the seasons to change the names potentially. So my guess is it'll be like a secondary branding where like they'll do things every now and then with it, because I think Moist was also still too popular. But they did just like, hey, this is the like they joined the Rebellion, not like it's an equal merger. Or okay, let me rephrase that. I don't think it's probably an equal merger. But it's just, it is the Shopify Rebellion. It's not like the Moist Rebellion or Shopify, Moist Esports. I don't know. It's just gonna be Shopify Rebellion, but everywhere they have merged. But that's huge for the LTA. It's huge for, I think, esports. I think it's a great thing. So yeah, that is League done. Go to Dota, kind of staying in theme. And Dota's had a lot going on. We will be having the Fissure Playground coming up. A lot of good teams invited and qualified. That will be very fun to watch. And we also have the close qualifiers happening right now for ESL Rally. And it seems like, at least from what I've seen, the two invited teams seem a lot better than the rest, which doesn't surprise me because most likely these are the more professional teams. It's good to see Shopify versus Wildcard. That'll be very fun to watch. See how that goes. I'm rooting for Shopify. In Meswa, I'm sure. Nigma, I think, is the one that you're really. I think they're one of the top teams. So Enigma versus Chimera, same thing where they 2-0'd to get there. And then Western Europe, I think, is a little bit more stacked, seemingly. But it's gotten to Navi and Tundra. Also, that's also because there was a bunch of teams who were invited. That makes more sense. But Team Secret did take down Passion UA, and Avalis. Avalis beat OG. OG losing to Navi Junior is unfortunate. They bombed out. So yeah, two teams do qualify compared to the one, I think, from the others, right? Yeah, it's just the one qualifies. Yes, two teams from EMEA do qualify, so we do have the pretty much a qualifying match between Navi and Tundra, and then whoever loses gets the extra chance against one of these four teams. So yeah, I am going to be trying to watch this more. Like after I'm done streaming, or recording this, I'm going to be watching this, just to try and get a better read on Dota. And then to finish it off, we're going to talk about Rocket League, because Rocket League had a lot happen. So I'm literally just going to go across the line. So North America, that is, your finals are happening today. Lots of upsets. Like, even I think here, like Pioneers not making it, that's just a huge loss of the Pioneers. But going down to this bracket, we have kind of an expectation of the complexity getting through. Ultimate's losing to Space Station is surprising, and I think this SSG team is going to be a lot more is going to do a lot of damage this year, from talking or from hearing their coach speak about them, and just SSG having faith in them. I see them doing very well. Yeah, like they beat this super team pretty much. So well played to them. They're in. It was just a pinch. Do you get in the semifinals, or do you have to play one of these teams? But like, you didn't want to lose that game because you also had to play Energy, and Energy, you would also probably still say is the best team in the region. And Gen G losing to 9 lives in a banger, that was a great game. And then Team Evo not able to beat out Energy, but like, you can't be like, Team Evo is good. It's a very good EU team, but like, it's nothing. And then Shopify did burn out early to 9 lives, which you would definitely say is a failure on their aspect. They want to be shooting for higher for sure. And I'm wondering how long that roster stays together, because I think they're carried over pretty much from last year, relatively. And then we'll go to Europe. Europe had their Open 1 completed, and it was pretty what you would expect. Dignitas losing to 100% is a little more surprising, but you have the big three, I think, right now, or even just kind of big two, but Karmi Corp just annihilated them. So Karmi Corp doing really well. They look good, but again, it's early on. You never know. It also depends how you see people in majors. Oceania, we had Wildcard take it over Chiefs, but I think this will be the top 4 pretty consistently, I would argue. I like the TSM roster. I forget who's on Chiefs, but I will always be a Torsos fan, so I'm gonna be rooting for Wildcard. Yeah, this Chiefs teams will be interesting to watch, but like TSM has the Anthem Super Lucky Kaka, which they've been really good. They made majors, so we'll see how it happens for them. South America, who else but Furia? Let's be honest, who else but Furia? They won in a 4-3. I did forget that it was a 4-3. It was closer than you thought, but it's Furia. You always would expect them to just, they've run this region for years. So I mean, them and TS being the 2 teams out of Brazil would not surprise me. I'll say that. And I'll just go through quickly, because this video has been going along for a little too long. LG won, not surprising. Falcons won, not surprising. And then in Sub-Saharan Africa, that is happening right now, and Limitless has been kind of running the region, but we'll see how this goes. So yeah, this one ended up a lot longer than the last one, I think just because more was happening. So yeah, and I still feel like I rushed. But yeah, thank you for watching. I do stream. I will stream and talk about esports a lot. So if you got this far, thank you. If you click through, also thank you. Yeah, do subscribe, all that nonsense. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.